Hello, everyone. Welcome to Catherine's ESL classroom. In today's lesson, we are going to celebrate Juneteenth. So what is Juneteenth? Well, let's get started and find out. We are also going to have some fun. Yay! So thank you again, everyone, for joining Miss Catherine's ESL classroom and celebrating Juneteenth. We will learn about the celebration and we will also have some fun facts quiz. So let's get ready. What is Juneteenth? Juneteenth celebrates the last enslaved American people hearing the news that they were finally free. Juneteenth is a federal holiday, aka, which means as known as Freedom Day or Jubilee Day. The Juneteenth flag was created in 1997. It is an important symbol of the holiday. The Juneteenth flag represents the end of slavery and new beginnings. When is Juneteenth celebrated? Well, look at the calendar here and look what is circled. Juneteenth is short for June 19th. Juneteenth is celebrated each year or annually on June 19th. This is an important holiday, and this year, 2024, we are celebrating it on Wednesday this year. Remember, it's every year on June 19th, but this year it will be on Wednesday in 2024. Juneteenth history. Now, this picture here in green is representing the state of Texas. June 19th, 1865 was the day the last enslaved people in the United States learned of their freedom. Major General Granger delivered the news of the Emancipation Proclamation to the enslaved people of Texas on this date. It took over 2 years for word of the freedom to reach Texas. Juneteenth history. Juneteenth is a combination of June and the 19th. On June 19th, 1865, news of emancipation reached Texas. Emancipation means freedom. Okay, so this is a map of the United States. On the left and in red is the state of Texas. And on the right is the state of Texas. And you will see the star here. Though the American Civil War ended on April 9th, 1865, the news of the end of the war and the subsequent freeing of enslaved people was slow to reach Texas. So does anyone know the word subsequent? Right here, subsequent, okay? So subsequent would be maybe following, right? So let's talk. Why do you think it took so long for news of emancipation of enslaved people to reach Texas in 1865? How long does news take to reach any state today in 2024, and why? So we're going to compare the difference between 1865 and 2024. What is the Emancipation Proclamation? The Emancipation Proclamation was issued by Abraham Lincoln on January 1st, 1863. The Emancipation Proclamation stated that all enslaved people in Confederate states were free. Now remember, in New York, we were considered a Union state. The Confederate state back then was all the southern states. And the last one, the last Confederate state was Texas. The adoption of the 13th Amendment to the Constitution of the United States formally abolished, meaning it stopped completely. It abolished slavery on December 6, 1865. Why had it taken so long for the word about emancipation, the freedom, to reach Texas? So the emancipation would be the freedom of the African American slaves. The news was deliberately, meaning done on purpose, withheld, meaning they did not give that information on purpose, by enslavers, the people that enslaved these people, to maintain the labor force on the plantations. The plantation was the crops that they grew on the land, on the farm. Federal troops waited for the slave owners to reap the benefits of one last cotton harvest before going to Texas to enforce the proclamation. This is why it took so long. They didn't want to lose their free labor. General Orders number 3. The news of the end of slavery was brought to Galveston, Texas by Major General Granger. So remember the star that was on the state of Texas? That was Galveston. The famous order stated, the people of Texas are informed that in accordance with a proclamation from the executive of the United States, all slaves are free. Juneteenth celebrations. The first Juneteenth celebration happened in Galveston, Texas in 1866. Juneteenth is the oldest celebration to mark the end of slavery in the United States. A day of celebration. June 19th, or Juneteenth, became a huge celebration for the freed enslaved people and others. It is estimated that 250,000 enslaved people in Texas were freed on Juneteenth. Festivities originally included barbecues, fishing, baseball, rodeos, and prayer services. Popular Juneteenth foods were barbecued food, strawberry soda, and other special foods to share. Fancy clothes were worn to reflect new freedom. Let's talk. How would you have celebrated Juneteenth if you had been in Texas for the very first celebration? How would you, or do you, celebrate today? So we're comparing back in Texas when it first happened to today in 2024. How is Juneteenth celebrated today? Juneteenth is a celebration of freedom. The holiday is celebrated in many ways. People attend parades and marches. Cookouts and barbecues are held at homes or in parks. Juneteenth celebration history. In the first years after June 19th, 1865, Juneteenth was celebrated with joy. Woohoo! These celebrations lost momentum, meaning they died down in the early 1900s. Okay, so the early 1900s would be past 1865. Okay, so it first started back in 1865 and then started to lose momentum. It started to slow down in the early 1900s. Then a resurgence. It started again. Festivities in the 1960s coincided, meaning at the same time, with the civil rights movement. Think Martin Luther King. Juneteenth today. Today, Juneteenth celebrates freedom and accomplishments of Black Americans. Traditional methods of celebrating are still popular, especially barbecues. On June 17th, 2021, Juneteenth officially became a federal holiday. So if Juneteenth officially became a federal holiday in 2021, who was or is the president today or in 2021? Think. How is the Juneteenth and American flag similar and different? Let's talk. Now think, talk, and share. Why is it important to celebrate Juneteenth today? Okay, so fun quiz. So you'll notice here, Juneteenth is celebrating freedom, okay? You notice the shackles are coming off. You notice there are two flags. We have the June 19th, 1865 flag, which is the Juneteenth flag for celebrating the last state, which was Texas. And then we have the 50 states, United States flag behind it. Now, this is part of the 13th Amendment, Juneteenth, and this became the last state, and this became a ratification, okay? So know your U.S. Constitution. Which of the following is another name for Juneteenth? Independence Day, June Day, Emancipation Day, or all of the above? This could be a trick question. So which of the following is another name for Juneteenth? Emancipation Day. No, who chose Independence Day? No, that would be July 4th. Okay, so Juneteenth or June 19th is Emancipation Day. What does Juneteenth commemorate? The end of enslavement in the United States, the signing of the Emancipation Proclamation, the end of enslavement in Texas, or all of the above. Again, what does Juneteenth commemorate? What is its meaning? Okay. We are remembering what? The end of enslavement in the United States, the signing of the Emancipation Proclamation, the end of enslavement in Texas, or all of the above. Do you remember? The end of enslavement in the United States, okay? So if we say the end of enslavement in Texas, that would be wrong. The reason why that would be wrong is because that is the last state that ended the enslavement in the United States. If I say the end of enslavement in Texas, then that would mean only Texas, okay? So the end of enslavement in the United States, and Texas was the last state for that to be the end. Trick question, okay? Who issued the Emancipation Proclamation? Joe Biden, Gordon Granger, Robert E. Lee, or Abraham Lincoln? Again, who issued the Emancipation Proclamation? That's right, Abraham Lincoln. How many years passed after the Emancipation Proclamation was signed and the enslaved people of Texas were considered free? 1, 2, 3, or 4? Again, how many years passed after the Emancipation Proclamation was signed and the enslaved people of Texas were considered free? That's right, 2. What group of people announced to the people of Texas that enslavement was abolished? Union soldiers, French soldiers, Confederate soldiers, or all of the above? Again, what group of people announced to the people of Texas that enslavement was abolished? Union soldiers, okay? So the Union soldiers. So guess what? New York is a Union part of the United States, okay? So there was the Confederate soldiers and the Union soldiers. Remember, during the Civil War, the Union soldiers, the Union part of the United States won, okay? The Confederate side was all the slavery, and the Union side was all abolished, okay? So the group of people announced to the people of Texas that enslavement was abolished were the Union soldiers. Now, bonus. Are there any spelling errors here? You got it right. Union soldiers. Soldiers should be spelled S-O-L-D-I-E-R-S. So which letter is missing? That's right, the I in soldiers. How did the formerly enslaved people react when they learned of their freedom? So when we react, we're like, how did the formerly, in the past, enslaved people react when they learned of their freedom? They purchased land in the United States. They packed their belongings and moved. They sang, danced, prayed, and feasted. Or all of the above. Again, how did the formerly enslaved people react when they learned of their freedom? They sang, danced, prayed, and feasted. Good job. When did the first Juneteenth celebrations take place? June 19th, 1900, June 19th, 2021, June 19th, 1865, or June 19th, 1867? So many answers. Again, when did the first Juneteenth celebrations take place? June 19th, 1865. Good job. When did Juneteenth become a state holiday in Texas? 2020, 1865, 1867, or 1980? Again, when did Juneteenth become a state holiday in Texas? 1980. Good job. When did Juneteenth become an official federal holiday? June 17th, 2021 by President Joe Biden. June 19th, 2021 by President Joe Biden. June 18th, 2021 by President Joe Biden. Or June 19th, 1980 by President Ronald Reagan. Lots of answers here. Could be a little tricky. So when did Juneteenth become an official federal holiday? That's right, June 17th, 2021 by President Joe Biden. So who's the president today in 2024? That's right, Joe Biden. Who read the orders in Texas on June 19th, 1865 that proclaimed all enslaved people were free? Gordon Granger, Robert E. Lee, Abraham Lincoln, George Washington. Again, who read the orders in Texas on June 19th, 1865 that proclaimed all enslaved people were free? Okay, so what do you think the word proclaimed means? So take it apart. We have pro, which is we are for it, and we claimed it. So we are for it, okay? So who read it? That's right, Gordon Granger. Remember orders number 3? Good job. Which of the following is true about Juneteenth? It is the oldest known holiday that commemorates the end of enslavement in the United States. It is a holiday that commemorates the Emancipation Proclamation. It is the only holiday in June. All of the above. Okay. So, again, which of the following is true about Juneteenth? It is the oldest known holiday that commemorates the end of enslavement in the United States. Bonus question, what does commemorate mean? So think about when you go to memorials, all right? We are commemorating, right? We are celebrating it, we are acknowledging it, and we are giving respect to it. What type of soda is associated with celebrations on Juneteenth? Cherry soda, grape soda, strawberry soda, or all of the above? What type of soda is associated with celebrations on Juneteenth? Strawberry soda. Who likes strawberry soda? Me. Each year, there is a Juneteenth flag raising ceremony held in what city? New York, New York, Chicago, Illinois, Galveston, Texas, or all of the above? Okay, trick question. Each year, there's a Juneteenth flag raising ceremony held in what city? Galveston, Texas. Remember the map? And it had a red star? That's Galveston. Okay, and that was in the state of Texas. Good job. So Texas is the last state that ended slavery. Okay. All right, everyone, how did you do? Let's celebrate Juneteenth, which is June plus the 19th. And this year in 2024, it is on Wednesday. Now, remember, this is part of the ratification of the 13th Amendment of the United States Constitution. All right, everyone, until next time, thank you. Bye.